Instead of writing an email, I thought I would make you a quick YouTube video. So hopefully this translates well on the small screen, as it were. Excuse me, goodness gracious. So when we go to the Marriott Library homepage, we have the catalog. Whenever I am unsure of how to track down a body of literature that I'm confident exists, and I would think that your topic has that, I cast around in the catalog because that kind of grabs a little bit of everything. And it has a range of audiences too. So it's like all the way from scholarly all the way down to popular stuff and everything in between. Where some of the databases we looked at in class were very scholarly. And I used this, so I looked for parental attitude, and I put that in quotes, so it finds that as a single key phrase instead of key word. And then I do the AND, so after it finds everything with parental attitude, and the star just means get attitude or attitudes. It's called a wildcard. After it returns all of those, out of the millions of things in the catalog, then I wanted to have it narrow down to all of those things that have climate change in it as well. And I was just like, well, what's going on? I couldn't find anything either. And if you look right here, you can see there's only 44 articles. And it's just like, oh, surely there must be something else. Because, you know, the phenomenon with, I think it's Greta Thunberg, who is a climate change activist. And she's just a kid. And she took a sailboat, famously from Scandinavia, to New York for a climate conference. I think it was for the UN. The catalog, mystically, is not working right now. But that's not a barrier, because I did just like a cooking show. I found 43 articles that had junk, but then I found this one that looked like it was spot on. And it said, kids in cars, environmental attitudes in children. And this is kind of about kids in the back seat saying, Mom, are you polluting the atmosphere while you're driving this car? My kid said that to me once, and it just was like a stab to the heart. And I had to say, yes, I am actively polluting, and we're looking for ways to mitigate that. And they influenced me, and we bought an electric car, and it's a happy story at the end. But still, there's all sorts of trade-offs, and kids are influential. But the interesting thing that I found is that when I'm looking at my notes over here, is when we searched for parental attitude, what we've accidentally done is we've looked at a variable, so an attitude, how people feel about something or opinions about something, and we mixed it with the population. And a parental, if you were going to do a study where you were doing surveys with parents, it wouldn't necessarily be the population and their attitude, but it would be the population by itself would be talked about, and then the attitude might be tied to the subject itself. And I discovered that with this one. It says environmental attitudes. Oh, I can't cut and paste that. Environmental attitudes. So now let's separate that out and do a search for environmental attitudes and parent. And instead of our lovely catalog, since that one seems to not be working very well, let's go to sociological abstracts. There's several databases you could go to, though, that would work. I think many of them would. But in this one, since we're looking at a population, and it might be a qualitative assessment. Environmental attitudes. And when I found this one article with kids in cars, if you look down here, environmental attitudes is an actual subject line, which led me to believe that there are a bunch of scholars using that as a keyword or a key phrase so other people can find their own research that they've done. It was a hunch that I had. It's environmental attitudes and parent. And again, I'm going to do the star. So that's parent, parents, parenting, parental. So let's see what happens with this one. So we separated the attitudes from the population that we were studying, parents. I was hoping this search works better. Oh, environmentalism is another one. Identity theory. On this one, too, you can just go to scholarly journals down the side. I can skip out on some of the... It organizes it by what they think is relevance. Oh, there we go. The impact of parenthood on environmental attitudes. So there's one. Pro-environmental attitudes. I don't see parenting. Another thing that we can do. Oh, I'm backing all the way out to our search. Hopefully it'll keep me there. Oh, it didn't. Fiddlesticks. Let's go to advanced search. And we want our population to show up in the title. Article title, document title. Document, so publication, that's the journal that it showed up in. Document title, that's the article itself. I want parent to show up in there. And then, here's my and. I want to do the environmental attitudes. Okay, so now I'm going to search. And hopefully it's going to narrow it down. So there's that one that we found that was good. There's related to environmental with disease. That's interesting. That's interesting. Environmental concern. So you can see how I kind of wound my way around it. There's ways where you can reduce the number of results that you get, and there's ways that you can expand them. And I would say from the one that's called Kids and Cars, you could potentially use that one. You could potentially use this one. And remember, you have to click on the Find It button to get to that article. And you could look at intergenerational transmission of environmental concern. So there's another keyword, environmental concern. Intergenerational instead of parents. So I think there's a lot of directions to go. But I think you'd probably be best off with that first search. This one right here, where parent isn't in the title, and you just go through all of those and look for some that might be spot on with what you're interested in. And try a variety of databases. There's the PAIS, which is public policy, but there's also the sociological abstracts and all the ones that I showed you in that guide, campus guides, libutah.edu, sociology. Do you remember this guide? So if you go through the social research methods, this mid-level research, all of these databases might be worthwhile going into. Family and society studies worldwide, just for fun. Let's take a look. Since I have you. Da-na-na. That actually might be one of the better databases to go to, even though there's only two. Looks like both of them are right on. Ooh, adolescents instead of children. Oh, the rabbit hole just expands as we go throughout. Let me know how it goes. And thanks for writing in. And I wish you the best of luck. I am here for you. So send me a message anytime you want, and I can help you out. Or you can come and visit too, and we can do a consultation in our consultation space too. Have a good one.